7 ways to walk into your next special occasion with hair that actually turns heads. And not one of them requires you to be under 60 to pull off. If you've been quietly avoiding short hair because you're scared it'll read as trying too hard, or worse, not special enough for a big night, that fear is costing you more than you realize. Because a great pixie, styled the right way, can look more elegant at a wedding or a holiday party than hair twice as long. By the end of this video you'll know exactly which pixie style fits which kind of event. And there's one on this list that stylists specifically save for their most confident clients. Let's start with the one that photographs better than almost any other cut in this list. Part 1. The sleek side-swept pixie that photographs like a runway look. Most women think a pixie has to look casual to look natural. And that one belief is quietly ruling out the most photogenic option on this entire list. The sleek side-swept pixie is the cut stylists reach for when a client says the word wedding or gala, because it does something almost no other short style does. It catches light along one clean plane instead of scattering it in a dozen directions. That matters more than people think under event lighting, which is usually warm, low, and unflattering to texture that isn't controlled. Here's the part that surprises most women the first time they try it. This style actually gets easier to manage as hair thins with age, not harder. Fine or thinning hair holds a sleek line beautifully, because there's less bulk fighting the direction you're setting it in. The women who've spent years mourning the volume they used to have are often the ones this cut flatters the most, and nobody tells them that. The fix, if you're going to try this for an event, is all in the prep, not the cut itself. You want your stylist to leave a touch more length at the crown than a standard pixie, just enough to sweep it over. Then at home, the styling routine is shorter than you'd expect. A lightweight smoothing cream worked through damp hair, a round brush pulling the top section in the direction you want it to fall, and a cool shot at the end to lock the shine in place. No teasing, no heavy product, no fighting the hair into submission. The whole thing takes under 10 minutes once you've done it twice. What changes when you get this right isn't subtle. Women who switch to this style for an event tell me the same thing almost every time. People stop commenting on the haircut and start commenting on how put together they look, which is a completely different compliment. One reads as styling, the other reads as elegance. That shift from she got a haircut to she looks stunning tonight is the entire point of choosing the right pixie for an occasion instead of just any pixie. There's a small detail most tutorials skip entirely, and it's the one that separates a good version of this style from a great one. The ear. A sleek side-swept pixie should expose one ear fully, usually the side the fringe sweeps away from. It sounds minor, but exposing that ear is what keeps the whole look from reading as just brushed to the side, and instead reads as intentional, architectural, styled. Leave both ears covered and the cut looks unfinished. Expose one cleanly, and it looks like you walked out of a salon an hour ago, even if you did your own hair at your kitchen table. If you're worried this style feels too severe for a softer event, like an anniversary dinner rather than a formal gala, you can soften it without abandoning the sleekness. A slightly looser wave through the swept section, rather than a razor-flat line, keeps the polish but adds warmth. It's a 5-second adjustment with a curling wand on the lowest heat setting, just enough to introduce a bend without losing the directional flow. The before and after here isn't really about the cut changing. It's about the same cut, worn 2 different ways. Before, a pixie left to its natural texture, a little flat at the crown, fringe falling forward with no direction, reading as convenient rather than chosen. After, that same length, combed into one clean sweeping line, one ear exposed, catching light instead of absorbing it, reading as a deliberate choice for a special night rather than a haircut she happened to already have. There's one more style on this list that works the opposite way. Instead of controlling every strand into one line, it does the exact opposite, and somehow ends up looking even more expensive. Part 2. The textured crop and the soft side fringe pixie. 2 softer options for evening. Here's something almost nobody tells women considering a pixie for a special occasion. Sleek isn't the only way to look formal. In fact, over-controlling short hair for a big event is one of the most common reasons a great cut ends up looking stiff in photos instead of alive. 2 styles solve this the opposite way, by working with texture instead of flattening it, and they're both worth knowing before you book your next appointment. The first is the textured crop. Where the sleek Pixie relies on one smooth line, the textured crop relies on visible separation, distinct, piecewise sections at the crown that catch light individually instead of as one flat surface. Under the low, warm lighting of most evening events, this actually reads more dimensional in photos than a perfectly smooth style does, because each strand catches a slightly different angle of light. A camera flash loves that kind of texture in a way it doesn't love flat sheen. The fix for getting this texture right at home is a matte finish styling paste, not a smoothing cream, worked into damp hair section by section rather than raked through all at once. Twist small pieces between your fingers as you go rather than combing them flat. The goal is controlled separation, not mess. Every piece has a direction, but no two pieces lie in exactly the same plane. Once it's dry, a light hold spray locks it without gluing the movement down. What this style actually changes for a lot of women is how youthful the whole face reads. And it has nothing to do with the hair color underneath it. Flat hair, no matter how healthy, tends to pull the eye downward and can add visual weight to the lower face. Texture with lift at the crown does the opposite. It draws the eye upward and outward, which is a big part of why this cut gets described as fresh so often, even on women who've worn short hair for decades. The second style in this part is the soft side fringe Pixie, and it solves a completely different problem. What to do if you love the idea of a pixie but you're not ready to show a lot of forehead? This version keeps a longer, softly angled fringe that sweeps diagonally rather than sitting blunt across the brow. It's the pixie stylists recommend most often for women transitioning from longer hair, because it eases the face into the shorter length instead of exposing it all at once. The detail that makes this fringe work for evenings specifically is the angle of the sweep relative to the eyebrow. A fringe that ends right at the outer corner of the eyebrow, rather than covering it or stopping short of it, creates a soft frame around the eyes without hiding them, which matters enormously for a night where your eye makeup is probably doing more work than usual. Cut it too short and it looks abrupt. Let it fall too long, and it can read as hiding rather than framing. For an evening event, a tiny amount of shine serum smoothed only over the fringe itself, leaving the crown textured, gives you both effects in one style. Control where your eyes need it, softness everywhere else. It's a 5-minute finishing step that most women skip entirely. And it's the difference between a fringe that looks intentional and one that just looks like hair that grew out a little long. The before and after for this part isn't one dramatic swap, it's a shift in confidence. Before, hesitating over whether short hair can feel special enough, reaching for the same flat, safe styling every time an event comes up. After, knowing there are two entirely different textures to reach for depending on the room you're walking into, and choosing on purpose instead of by habit. Now here's the one most women assume won't work on them at all. And it's usually the one they end up loving most once they actually see it on themselves. Part 3. The Silver Pixie with Soft Lift, the style most women rule out too early. I want to say something that might sting a little before it helps you. A lot of women quietly avoid embracing their silver or gray in a shortcut because they're worried it'll read as giving up, rather than as a choice. That fear keeps women reaching for color touch-ups before every single event, instead of leaning into the one pixie style that was practically designed for silver hair to look luxurious instead of tired. Silver and white hair behave differently under light than pigmented hair does. It reflects more, and it reflects it more evenly, which means a pixie with soft lift at the crown on silver hair can look almost metallic under evening lighting. Genuinely striking, not washed out. The mistake most women make is styling silver hair the exact same way they styled it when it was still colored, usually flat and close to the head, which mutes exactly the quality that makes silver hair beautiful in the first place. The fix here is almost entirely about the root lift, and it starts at the blow-dry, not the finishing product. Hair dried with the head tipped forward, roots lifted away from the scalp with a round brush before the style falls back into place. Holds shape at the crown far longer than hair dried flat and styled afterward. Once it's dry and you've flipped your head back up, a light dusting of volumizing powder at the roots only, never through the ends, keeps that lift through an entire evening without weighing the silver down or dulling its natural shine. Here's the result that actually changes how people respond to you at events, and it surprises almost everyone the first time. Soft lift at the crown on silver hair reads as healthy and vibrant in a way that flat silver hair simply doesn't. And healthy reading hair is one of the strongest visual signals of vitality there is. Women wearing this style get asked what they're doing differently far more than women who color correct their hair before every event, because the lift itself is doing more visible work than color ever could. There's a detail specific to silver hair that most styling advice completely ignores. Yellowing under warm event lighting. Silver and white hair can pick up a faint golden or brassy cast under tungsten or candlelight, which most women never notice until they see event photos later. A purple-toned styling mist, used sparingly the morning of, neutralizes that cast before it ever shows up on camera. It's a small step, but it's the one that keeps silver hair reading as bright and cool-toned rather than dull and warm cast in every photo taken that night. If you're still hesitant, here's a smaller version to try first. Rather than committing to lift through the entire crown, start with lift concentrated just at the front hairline, framing the face, while keeping the sides closer to the head. It gives you a taste of the brightness this style creates without a dramatic shift from what you're used to, and most women who try this smaller version come back within a few months asking for the fuller lift anyway. The before and after here is really about permission. Before, silver hair worn flat, close to the head, treated almost apologetically, styled to minimize rather than showcase. After, the same silver, lifted and given room to catch light, worn like a deliberate style choice rather than something to work around. There's a style coming up that takes the opposite approach entirely. Instead of lift, it's about a single sharp detail that does all the talking. Part 4. The asymmetrical Pixie and the slick-back Pixie. Bold options for women who want to stand out. Not every woman wants her hair to blend into the background of a special occasion. And if that's you, this part is the one you've been waiting for. Two styles here are built for standing out rather than fitting in. And both get requested most often by women who've already worn a Pixie for years and are ready for something with a little more edge. The first is the asymmetrical Pixie, one side cut noticeably shorter than the other, with the longer side left long enough to sweep or tuck. What surprises people about this style is how much more it actually suits a formal event than a casual one. The asymmetry reads as a deliberate design choice under structured event lighting, where a symmetrical style can start to look predictable after the 50th other guest walks in with a similar cut. The fix that makes this style event-ready rather than everyday casual is in how the longer side gets finished. Tucked plainly behind the ear, it can look almost accidental. Swept forward at a slight angle across part of the forehead instead, then anchored with a single small pin underneath where it can't be seen, gives the longer side intention and movement instead of just length. That one adjustment is usually the difference between she has an asymmetrical cut and she styled her hair beautifully tonight. The result women report with this style is a specific kind of attention. Not louder attention, but longer attention. People's eyes actually linger on an asymmetrical line longer than they do on a symmetrical one, because the brain is still processing the shape. For an event where you want to be remembered specifically, rather than just noticed and moved past, that lingering attention is exactly the effect you're after. The second bold option is the slick-back Pixie. Every section combed straight back off the face, no fringe left forward at all. This is the style stylists describe as the closest thing to a red carpet look in short hair, because it does something dramatic that few other Pixie styles attempt. It fully exposes the face bone structure and jawline with absolutely nothing softening the frame. It's not for every event, but for a formal gala or an evening where the outfit itself is the statement piece, it's unmatched. The fix for this one is entirely about product and patience, not cutting. A stronghold pomade. Work through damp hair from front to back in one continuous motion rather than section by section. Keeps every strand traveling the same direction without gaps or flyaways breaking the line. The mistake most women make trying this at home is rushing the front section, which is the part most visible and least forgiving of shortcuts. This style rewards confidence more than any other on this list, and that's actually the point. With nothing to hide behind, the expression and posture you bring to the room do as much work as the hair itself. Women who wear this will tend to stand a little taller the moment it's styled, almost involuntarily, because there's genuinely nowhere left to shrink into. The before and after for this part is really two separate transformations in one. Before, a symmetrical, safely styled Pixie with a soft forward fringe, comfortable but forgettable in a room full of similar styles. After, Either the asymmetrical sweep with its pinned intention, or the fully slicked back version with nothing hidden. Both bold, both memorable, both worlds away from playing it safe. One style is still left, and it's the quiet favorite among stylists themselves for the most sentimental kind of occasion. Part 5. The Soft Wave Pixie, the romantic choice for sentimental occasions. Here's a detail most women never think to ask their stylist. Not every special occasion calls for sharp and polished. Anniversaries, milestone birthdays, a daughter's engagement dinner. These are softer moments, and the sharpest, sleekest pixie in the world can accidentally feel a little cold for an evening that's supposed to feel tender instead of dramatic. That's exactly the gap the soft wave pixie fills, and it's often the one stylists quietly recommend once they know what the occasion actually is. The soft wave pixie takes the short length everyone already associates with a pixie and introduces gentle, loose movement throughout, rather than sleekness or sharp texture. The effect is closer to how hair falls naturally after a day at the beach than anything engineered or structured. And that relaxed quality is precisely what makes it read as romantic rather than formal. The fix for creating genuine, natural-looking waves on short hair is smaller barrel curling than most women expect. A 3/4-inch barrel, alternating the direction of each wrap section by section rather than curling everything the same way, avoids the uniform curled look and creates the irregular, organic movement that makes this style feel unstyled even though it took real effort. Once it's cooled, breaking the curl up gently with fingers, never a brush, keeps the wave loose instead of springy. What changes for women who wear this to a sentimental event is less about how they look in photos and more about how they feel in the room. Sharp, structured styles can carry a subtle formality that puts a small amount of distance between you and the people around you. Soft waves do the opposite. They read as warm and approachable, which matters enormously at an event built around closeness rather than spectacle. More than one woman has told me this was the style she wore the night she cried happy tears at her own anniversary dinner. And it felt exactly right. There's one small detail that keeps this style from tipping into looking undone rather than intentionally soft. The front section. Even with loose waves everywhere else, keeping the very front piece swept slightly to one side, rather than falling forward with the same randomness as the rest, gives the whole style a clear starting point for the eye. Without that one anchored piece, soft waves can start to look like hair that simply wasn't styled at all, rather than hair that was styled to look effortless. A light, weightless texturizing spray, rather than a heavier cream, is worth using here specifically because heavier products tend to weigh loose waves down into something closer to a flat set than a soft wave by the time the evening actually starts. A few spritzes at the roots only, fingers combed through gently, keeps the waves buoyant for hours rather than collapsing an hour after you leave the house. The before and after for this final part is the gentlest one on the whole list, and maybe the most meaningful. Before, short hair styled the same structured, controlled way for every single event regardless of what the event actually calls for. After, soft, irregular waves chosen specifically because the occasion asked for warmth instead of polish, proof that a pixie can flex to match the feeling of a night, not just the dress code. 7 styles, 7 completely different moods, and every single one of them proves the same point. A pixie isn't one look you settle for after 60. It's a whole wardrobe of options, and which one you choose says something about the night ahead of you. So now you know all 7. The sleek side sweep for photographs, the textured crop and soft fringe for effortless evenings, the silver pixie with lift for the color you've earned, the asymmetrical and slicked back looks for the nights you want to be unforgettable, and the soft wave for the ones that are simply about love. None of these require long hair to feel special, and none of them require you to be anyone other than exactly who you are right now. Which one matches your next occasion? Tell me in the comments, and if you've already worn one of these 7, I'd love to know which one made you feel the most like yourself. Next time, we're talking about the exact accessories that finish a short haircut properly instead of fighting it. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.